Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode number 15. This is chapter 3, The Rebirth. This episode starts out with a recap of what happened the night before with the Housewives Gone Wild when they were gathering around Shamea and they started doing shots and all the shenanigans that ensued after the shots. Boy, those women really know how to turn up.
I'll tell you what, and they are smart, these Atlanta women. I mean, we wind up seeing it anyway, but when the cameras go down is really when they pop off. And I'm so glad we get to see it because it just, that night when they were like showing us what wasn't on camera, but was on camera, I thought about the Bolo night. Like, they just have so much fun together. Like, they can really put their shit aside and have a good time.
Yeah, it's true. And that's kind of what they were saying too. Like, that's what they like. Like they like just having fun and laughing and, you know, partying with these women. And that's what they need to do more of. They really do.
100.
Yeah. I mean, Angela's sitting there talking to Drew and she's like, this is the first time like I've really had a good time with all these ladies. Because the last time they did it, they were talking about Angela. Like she was upstairs sleeping, you know? Like this time she was actually participating, which was good.
Yes.
I mean, and the
sure.
twerking. Those girls should give a class on twerking because I have never, I couldn't learn even if like there was a remedial class, I still would not have the ability because I don't have the parts. You need to have the parts to have the ability. I don't have the parts or the ability. Like I just couldn't do it.
But
I
have a flat ass and no rhythm.
Exactly.
So I'd be fucked. But I love watching them.
I do too.
When they were showing the we didn't get there yet.
So Angela says to Drew, she's like, you know, Britt was really very, very sincere and with her, what she was saying to Shamea until I looked at your face, Drew. And Drew's like, you mean her performance? Like
exactly. That's all that was.
Yes. And that's exactly what we said when we saw it. We're like, that girl is acting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she was going in.
It was bad. I'm glad that obviously they all recognize it because they know who she is. Like that. And this is also where we find out that, we thought that Britt and Kelli were close, right? But we see a little bit of it when they're going at Britt at the table about what her donation was, and Kelli did not stand by her. I will say on the after show, it was a little bit contradictory about that whole situation because Porsha, did you watch the after show? So Porsha and Phaedra were there with Britt on the after show, and they were both saying like, yeah, we don't think you should be talking about, what the donation is. It's just the fact that you donate. But then they cut to all the clips where those two were talking about it too.
Oh, yeah. And Phaedra's the one who said minimum $1,000.
Exactly.
It was totally contradictory. Somebody should have played that reel back for Phaedra because she, 100% contradictory.
Yeah. And even Kelli, she's like, well, I told her off camera. I was telling her off camera. And Shamea's like, I pulled her aside. Like, I didn't want to bring this on camera. I'm like, you guys all put it on camera. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Shamea did take her out or something. Shamea did say that. And maybe Kelli did too, but they were talking shit on camera about it. There's no doubt.
They definitely were. And we see Shamea's on the phone with her mom and she's getting an update on how Shiloh's doing and what happened. The good news is Shiloh.
Were you thinking the same thing? Like, don't you think they should be a little bit careful how they're talking about this woman? Because she's probably part of an agency and it probably wouldn't be too hard to find out what agency. And I feel like they're saying a little bit too much on TV about it.
I really didn't give that too much thought, to be honest with you. I was gonna say Shiloh doesn't have a fever today, but on the after show, Shamea was saying she didn't even wanna she didn't wanna have that conversation. She didn't know that she was on speakerphone when she answered the phone. Like,
And
she
she
didn't.
could be saying that because she's getting a little bit of heat from this agency. I'm telling you, because it would not be hard for somebody if they really wanted to find out what agency she was talking about. And
Yeah.
they're basically slandering the agency.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because there's no agency mentioned, right? We had this discussion the other day, you and I. It was not on the podcast, but we had the discussion about slander and defamation, right? You
Right.
have
And
to
yeah,
you
it's
really
hard
have
to
to
prove.
it's hard to prove, and you really have to name, and there was no names given. There was no
That's true.
names. There was no
That's true.
names. So I think she's okay with that respect. I could see that. And again, when we first heard it, we thought like we were an abusive situation.
Right.
Shamea's mom did say, like, the nurse, like, she was at the North Pole, she had on a heating blanket and a hat. So the room was cold. She was acknowledging that, which,
Right.
again, you're in Georgia. Like, why? Why is the room so cold?
This is why I mentioned it before, and I'm not trying to defend anybody. And clearly, this was a situation that upset Shamea. But does the baby have some kind of medical condition where the provider thought that the baby being cold would help that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
odd that the woman's all bundled up and the baby's not. It
it is
kind of
odd,
doesn't
and
make sense.
it is odd, and yeah, it is odd. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of the situation. I don't.
I mean, either way, Shamea was very upset about it, and it was a situation, and
Right.
thankfully, she has a good, caring husband who took care of it while she was away.
Yeah. And the good thing is that baby's doing better the next day, which
Right,
is very good, right?
right.
Then the next thing we see is Cynthia and Porsha are in their room talking, and then Phaedra comes in. Boy, Phaedra, she really can stir it up, huh? She like,
Why is she constantly coming for fucking Angela, calling her a math teacher now?
yeah,
Why is she doing that?
she said she gives questions like she's Barbara Walters. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, and I think next week, I think Phaedra alludes to Charles cheating.
I do too. Once we
Mhm.
saw, yeah, I do too. She must have something when she starts the season out with them. When we start seeing her, she must have something in her back pocket. That's why she's
Mhm.
dropping all these little hints, right?
Right.
We find out that Phaedra likes to go to sleep to true crime TV. Okay,
That's crazy.
that is crazy.
I like to go to sleep to Jason Stevenson meditation. By the way, I have a hard time falling asleep. People are up in my house all hours of the night. I got it's a headband with earbuds in it. Because if I wear these, my ears hurt. I can't sleep on my side. So I just got that. I've been sleeping soundly for the past 2 nights, snoring like a bear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you.
Sidebar.
Yeah, yeah. We'll put a link. We'll put a link in our
We
podcast.
will put a
I
link. What
mean,
do I care?
we won't make any money on it, but we'll give you
Not
the
a
link.
dime. Not a damn dime.
But we'll give you the link. Somebody's gonna make money, but it's not gonna be us.
What a story of our lives.
So Phaedra wants to know what's going on with Shamea and the donation. And this next thing that she said, I just died. She's like, the African starter kit is a Rolls Royce, an AP bust down, and some Ferragamos. And if you don't have them, you can't be African. I was like, wait,
What?
AP bust down? And thank God Cynthia asked, like, what's an AP bust down? And they're like, it's diamonds, it's dancing diamonds. And again, I'm still not exactly sure. Are the diamonds
I
on
don't know
your
what that
wrist?
is.
Are the diamonds are they in the Rolls Royce? Are they in the, like, I still don't know what it is.
What
But
is going on? Yeah.
I mean, we don't have the starter kit because we're not African. So we're going to have to reach out to our
Yeah.
African listeners. Can you guys let us know? Please explain to us.
Yeah. Break it down.
Yes,
Break it
please.
down for us.
Please, we just don't get it. I don't get it.
You
I
don't
mean, I
get it.
thought it was hysterical, even though I don't know exactly what she was talking about.
It sounded really funny.
Yeah. Phaedra said it, and then Phaedra went on to say Atlanta is so scammer. We had to go cashless in the city. You'll get trick or treated in Atlanta, but there's more trick than treating. So it sounds like I don't know what's going down in Atlanta, but it sounds like a whole lot of scamming's going down in Atlanta.
It
I don't know.
does. And she really, I mean, love her or hate her, she is funny,
She
Phaedra.
really is funny. She really is. She
People
is.
are not enjoying her on the show, though. Have you seen that on social media?
No, I didn't see that.
I mean, people are actually saying that the season took a dive after she came on.
No, I do not agree.
I don't agree either.
I
I
don't
think it's a
agree.
great season of Atlanta. I'm glad you talked me into watching it.
Yeah, I do too. Listen, I've always maintained I like Phaedra. I just think she's funny. Like, she's one of the housewives that I would want to hang out with. I would have so much fun with her. I really would.
Definitely have fun with her. I do hope Kenya comes back, though.
I think she might. I think we might
I
see her
think she
back.
might too.
I think we might see her back. So then she says she has a little tea on Brit, and she keeps calling her Tinkerbell.
Is that who's call? She's calling Tinkerbell, or is she
She's
calling Kelly
Kelly. She's
Tinkerbell?
calling yeah.
Okay. Okay.
She's got tea on Brit and Tinkerbell because Tinkerbell is Kelly, and she does not want Brit using the same glam team that she has. She's calling her the fake frick and frack. But Kelly tells us that she introduced her to her glam team. So until she got her own. And then Kelly says also that, she had a meeting, a private meeting with her glam team, and she wasn't happy about that. So I'm very confused about the whole situation.
So Kelly introduced Britt to, first of all, this is the big T. Like, first of all, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Nobody cares about this. But
No.
let's break it down.
Okay.
So Kelly introduced Britt to her glam team and said, use them until you get somebody.
Right.
And then got mad that Britt had a private meeting with her glam team. Was the private meeting come work for me and stop working for her? Because Dolores and Tamara were talking about it today, and they said that does happen, where one castmate will try to hijack your glam team from you.
That's insane.
So if that's what Britt did, then yeah, that's kind of messed up.
I just can't
But
see
is
Brit
that what
doing
she
that.
did?
I can't see her doing that. I really can't. I mean,
She have the money for a glam team?
like, does she have the money? And why would she do that? Like, what would,
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think that that's crazy.
I mean, I think this will come up at the reunion.
Yes, I
Is
do.
it warranted? Probably not, but it's going to come up at the reunion.
No. Phaedra told Britt what she was doing was weird. I thought that was funny. And then she also said that her nipple was inverted and it just popped on out. And then Porsha said, "Oh, like Cynthia, like your clit."
I
was
mean, what an asshole.
I seriously, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, "Wait,
Oh my
what?"
God. To say that on TV and for Cynthia to not tell the producers, don't you dare fucking release
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Listen, I love Cynthia. I love Cynthia. I really
Me
do.
too. I think that was so messed up. Not that it's a big deal.
No, but it's a private
But
thing.
who wants the characteristics of their genitalia out for the whole world to know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and even the fact now that you mentioned that Phaedra mentioned it about Britt, considering those
Yeah.
pictures were out and she's now maintaining those pictures weren't even of her.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I was tired of searching for new pickleball gear that actually is good quality and performs. So I ordered the Volleybird pickleball subscription box from volleybird.shop. Every 8 weeks, I get a box full of high-quality curated finds for my sport. Think a cool new top to wear on court, plus unique equipment and wellness goodies. It's like having a shopper who gets my active life and desire for gear that's been curated and tested. I know if there's a 3-pack of pickleballs in there or a new vegan sunscreen, it's going to be decent and work for me. Check it out yourself at volleybird.shop.
But she's suing for defamation. But it wasn't her. But I wonder if Phaedra's comment was brought up in that lawsuit.
I wonder too. And then Cynthia's like, "Oh, Lord." And then she's like, "No, it's hooded." And then Phaedra says, "Like your clit is like a little KKK."
What does that mean? Hooded.
You mean?
I'm so late to the party. I did not catch that. I did not catch that. I heard them say that over and over again, but I'm like, the fuck are they talking about? Okay.
That was a
See what I mean?
conversation.
She's so witty, that Phaedra.
I know. And quick,
And
like,
she's quick.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. It's just she's so
Mhm.
quick. She's so
Mhm.
quick.
Yeah.
So then we see Britt goes into Kelly's room, and she's trying to talk to Kelli to find out, like, you know, "Are you my friend?" Or, like, "Why didn't you have my back?" But Kelly's so
Yeah, like
wrapped
she was upset about the dinner the night before.
Yeah. But Kelly's so wrapped up in that she's getting divorced she has trial next week, and she's getting divorced, and she has to talk to her attorney, and she's got a lot on her mind, and, it's gonna be a life-changing moment. So she's really kind of, like, dismissing Britt, and Britt's telling her that she felt a different energy, and she's like, she's kind of dismissing it because of the lawyer situation and the divorce. But
Yeah.
I think that that's not really what it was about, because we see that, she said all that stuff. Like, she's trying to say that she didn't, but she did. Like, we saw her say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's also saying, I just think that, you could have showed up a little more. Kelli says that to Britt. I think you could have showed up a little. You could have showed out a little more, because you did tell us at your party that your entire team, you got them plastic surgery. And
Right.
I think you have, a bigger purpose.
Listen, basically, Britt's pretending to be something she's not. You're sitting at a table with 8 other women, or however many other women,
Mhm.
and telling them that you took your whole team to Miami and got
Yes.
them plastic surgery. Meanwhile, you have 40 other people in this room who are not allowed to eat or sit down.
Exactly.
Like, what? And then, rolling up in your Rolls Royce or whatever you're rolling up in with
Right.
empty boxes.
Right.
Like, I get what they're saying. They don't want the fakeness. She's being fake. She's putting on a show.
Right. Right. Well, then just say that. Then
But
just
I think Kelly was trying to say that without being rude and, upsetting her. Show out.
right. I guess, because then Britt says, I feel like you're using your team, like your hair, your glam, and your security as like a shield.
What does that mean, though?
I don't know. I mean, how is she using it like a shield? She introduced you to them, and you did use them, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, I don't understand this whole glam thing.
I don't either. I
Did
don't
you not
either.
want her to use them, but you introduced them? But then are you mad she had a private meeting? But she can't pay them. So what are you worried about?
Right. What are you worried about?
And how much money does Kelly have that she's got a whole glam team, by the way?
The interesting thing is, I looked up, I don't know why, or it was in something I was reading, like Kelly's net worth. I mean, it said that her net worth was like $1 million, and her ex's was like 600,000. And he's starting his own chicken place. He did start his own chicken place. I saw that too. Hold on,
So
I think.
you can roll with a glam squad? Well, I guess maybe, you're
I mean,
going
to me,
away.
$1 million is not that much money. I'm just
Well,
saying.
it's not when you're like she's, getting her daughter 17 designer bags. That could be $100,000 right there for her
Yes,
birthday.
I looked it up. I looked him up on Instagram. It's called Recipes Established Since 1972. Uncle Butch's Chicken and Waffles, where every flavor tells a Cajun story. And just take a look at this.
That's him.
That's him. Look at that face.
He
Does that
reminds me of someone. I can't think of who, though.
does he
I'll
look
think
like
of
the
it.
face of someone you want to buy chicken from?
He don't look like the face that I want to do anything with.
Just like, what?
It's so funny to me that her restaurant is Nana's and I had my Nana and his is what, Uncle Butch's?
Uncle Butch's. You got an Uncle Butch?
And everybody calls my father Butch.
Oh, there you go.
My father is Uncle Butch. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
is funny.
reminds me of somebody and I can't think of who.
I don't know.
I'll think of it.
He doesn't look very friendly. I'll just say that. He doesn't look very
No.
friendly.
I hope that's not like the picture he's putting on his product because
I
it's not
know.
very inviting. Like, smile.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And like, that's what I saw on his Instagram. Like, if that's what you're putting on your Instagram, like, what?
Like, you
I
want
don't
people to
know.
come there. Maybe
Yeah.
smile.
Yeah, exactly. So then the ladies are all outside at the swimming pool, and there's a bar out there. It's actually Angela and Porsha out there at this point. Then Shamea and Kelli show up wearing matching print bathing suits and cover-ups.
Angela says, Britt's going to be mad.
Yeah, that was so funny. That's so funny. They agree that they're gonna make a pact that they're not gonna fight anymore and that they're gonna be more like, the sisterhood and the energy that they had the night before, which I hope that they can follow through on that because I think that that's way better than, the silliness that we see. But we kinda know that that's not what happens
It's not gonna
because
happen, but it's a nice
yeah,
thought,
it is
ladies.
it is a nice thought. Then we see Brandon, he's the tourism minister, and he comes to meet the ladies. He's who they organized all the donations through, and, they announced that, and did you see the look on Brit's face when they announced that?
Yeah.
She was just, ugh.
Well, the funny thing is that Brit comes in late, right? Nobody knows where
Yes.
Brit is, and she comes in late, and she comes in at the same time that this guy is there announcing. So you know damn well producers were like, "No, no, no, don't go yet. Don't go yet." They were probably telling Brit not to go until that guy got there.
Yeah, you're probably right, you're probably right.
Mhm.
So, they're talking about going to this celebration called the Jab Jab, where they oil up their bodies. So, it's an experience of during slavery, they considered the slaves jabs, which translates as devils. So now they cover themselves with oil and they dance and they celebrate and they're beating down their oppressors. So that is what the jab jab celebration is all about. They normally start this jab jab celebration at 5 a.m., but because these are Atlanta women and they're not getting up at 5
They're
a.m. to
not waking
jab
up at
jab,
5 AM.
no. They were nice enough to give them the nighttime jab jab.
That was pretty nice.
It was nice. So Kelli has to go and, call her attorney, but before she does that, she's talking to, Drew, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted to tell you this, like, they both have the same wedding anniversary date."
That's
And
crazy.
that is crazy, and August 21st is the date, and she's talking about how her ex is on his 6th attorney, and Drew's like, "Oh my god, Ralph is on his 3rd attorney." So, they are going through the same thing, but,
A lot of similarities.
yeah, yeah. Drew's talking
You
about how sh
know, when you hear Drew talking about Ralph,
yeah,
and I still have my doubts that this is all real.
right.
I do think that there's a small chance that Drew and Ralph could be doing this whole divorce separation thing for the show. But I think that the show ruined them. I think that being on the show got to both of them. I mean, listen, Ralph's showing up in a confessional. First of all, who's getting you don't see Charles Oakley sitting down for a confessional. He doesn't have time for that.
Let alone
But
shirtless.
Ralph's showing up with no shirt, with a nice blazer. Like Ralph, I think that the show got to both of them.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. So Drew was saying that this August was gonna be their 10-year anniversary, and she was planning on doing a vow renewal. Now that I call bullshit on,
Mhm.
because at the last reunion, she sang that song to him, and
Cringy.
right, you were not when were you no. No,
Right.
you were
Not
not
last
planning.
season, you weren't planning one, and they
No.
took a big break, right? Because
Yes!
Candy was on the last season, so they need to figure out what they were doing
They took a big break.
without Candy.
They took a big break. So, no, 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 you were not. Were you planning it 5 years ago? Like, when were you planning the vow
Right,
renewal? Like, when?
right.
Because that is not what we saw.
Mm-mm.
Angela asked Britt if she's okay, and I don't even know if she answered. But then we see Porsha brings out that huge hat for a photo shoot moment for Shamea.
Do you think she bought that hat there, or do you think that she shipped the hat? Did they take a private jet there? We don't know.
I don't remember.
That's a big hat to travel with.
That's a big ass hat. That is a big ass
I'm hoping
hat.
she bought it there and didn't have to pay for the travel expenses for it.
Yeah, that was a big hat. I mean, earlier she had showed that hat to Cynthia, like, she was playing with that hat earlier with Cynthia, so
Yeah.
that hat was there,
It was there.
but, I mean, I listen, that was nice of her to let Shamea use that for her photo shoot. I mean, the hat was bigger than Shamea. Let's be real.
Yes. Yes.
Then Kelly's on the phone with her attorney. She said her ex isn't making it easy for her, and she doesn't want her children to see what she's going through, which I totally understand. Like, you don't want the kids to know
Mhm.
what's happening.
Mm-mm.
So she's trying to hide that from them. So the ladies are all getting ready to go to the Jab Jab party, and they come down in those bikinis with the thongs and the all in
Well,
black.
it looked like dominatrix.
Oh, yes. Yes, it did. It
Yeah.
did definitely
It
look like
reminded
that.
me of Billions.
Yes, it definitely had a yes. They were all concerned about, because they're gonna all be covered in oil and, everything's gonna have to be thrown out. So Cynthia's worried about her hair. So she comes up with hair condoms. She puts her hair in braids. And
Did you watch the after show?
I did watch the after show.
Did you see what they were?
I didn't no, I didn't finish it actually. I didn't finish it.
They were her leggings, like her tights.
Oh, that's so funny.
She cut them. She said she washed them first. She cut them and then she did what she had to do.
Okay. That's so funny.
I mean, listen, I don't blame her
I
because
don't blame her either. That hair is expensive.
exactly.
You don't want that all covered up in oil and shit. No, I don't
Right.
blame her.
Right.
She's so funny.
That jab looked fun though.
It looked a bit intense though.
It looked very intense. I don't know if we were on that truck, if it would have gotten as intense, but with these ladies, it was getting that intense. With Porsha and Phaedra on the truck, it's getting intense.
Yes.
And I loved when Phaedra said somebody's getting pregnant.
Yeah, she said she was. She's like,
Yeah,
I
I think
think
I'm
we're all
pregnant.
I think we're all getting pregnant. And she was referring to that one particular dancer guy too.
I mean, there were some hookups on that truck.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
That was crazy. That was crazy. And before they even get there, they're all like doing shots. They're doing shots at the house. They're doing shots on the way there. Like they're all doing shots. I think that's what it is. You know what? I couldn't hang with them. I could not
I
hang
don't
with
know
them.
if I could either. I'll
I
be
could
honest
not.
with you.
I could
And
not
I
hang
can
with
hold
them.
my liquor, but I don't know.
I could not.
I don't know. I feel like they'd be like, you know what, white girl,
I don't.
you gotta go.
Yeah, I could not hang with them. No.
I would really, really want to, though.
I would want to too. I would have fun.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep up with them. I just want to hang with them.
I don't think we could.
I could not
I think
keep up
that's
with
just
them.
an unattainable goal right now.
No, I know. I don't even think I could drink half as much as they did, to be quite honest with you.
I know. They're so fun, though.
They really are. Phaedra's saying it's black what did she say? All right, this is what she said. Everyone is drenched in, the black oil, and in her confessional, Drew said it's everything. It's like it's community, it's culture where everyone is dancing and grinding on each other. Phaedra said it's black and it's black, black, black. And Porsha said, we are liberated people and we should be able to celebrate ourselves and do whatever we want. I totally agree.
I agree with that. Hell yeah.
The next day, we see like the remains of their clothing and their costumes and their accessories. And we see
That must have been some job getting all that oil.
We see the black oil on the walls, on the towels, in the showers. Like, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Britt said that she had to go into the shower with Phaedra and spread her cheeks. Phaedra said she saw every nook and crevice of her and got her clean. I was like, oh my God, Phaedra. Meanwhile, when she started the trip, she was talking about how she saw her birth canal. She saw Britt's birth canal. Well, you know what?
On the after show, somebody was talking about how after you give birth and that person comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Was that on the after show? Was it Phaedra maybe? And she was making that comparison to Britt. But that is, I've always said this, and I had C-sections, but I would imagine it's the same if you had a vaginal birth. It is the most humbling experience after you have a child for those nurses to come in and clean you, basically, the way that they do. It is a very humbling experience, and God bless them for it.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah, definitely.
Somebody, I think, on the after show was making a reference to that compared to what Britt did for Phaedra.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she got in there. She got dirty. She did what she needed to do.
She did what she needed to do.
So then they're like talking at, I guess it's like breakfast. And,
Yeah.
Kelli said that she just, she didn't even get completely clean. She just wants to go home. She's like, she actually doesn't want to go home because she's, doesn't want to live in her reality, right? Because when she gets home, she's going to have to deal with the attorney and what's really going on. And she said after she got off the phone with the attorney, her crystal broke in half, which, I thought, wow, that's pretty telling. And she Googled it, and what it symbolizes is the end of a relationship, which,
Yeah,
those crystals are powerful.
they sure are.
So she says she feels like she needs to go throw the crystal in the ocean. So they all go down and, they to the railing and they throw the crystal in the ocean. And, she's going to leave it there in Grenada. And then we see
They freeze halfway through, right?
Yeah. Then we see 72 hours later, Kelli is not divorced, and we see her talking, and that he went to jail today. And also that Kelli has not spoken to Britt since Grenada, but we don't know. Like they gave us like bits and pieces of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Britt says something to her. We've seen a scene coming up of Britt saying nasty things to her, but we don't know what happened before that.
Right. So next episode, I'm assuming it's the finale. They didn't say the finale, but it has
They
to be.
didn't say the finale, so it's probably not because they didn't say it.
It may not be. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm curious to see what happens. Like, how did he wind up in jail? I mean, I know he had already threatened her in the courtroom and already went to jail for that and was out.
Right.
So something
I mean,
else
it could
must have
just be he
happened.
didn't pay child support or something. You know, there might be a warrant out for him for not paying child support.
But if it wasn't finalized, then that's not usually finalized either.
Well, even when they're separated, though, he might be responsible for paying her something, right?
Maybe. I mean, but what's the point of putting him in jail? I mean, he's not going to be making any money
He's
there.
not going to be getting paid that way.
Right. I don't know. I feel like it had to be something violent.
Major.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it had to be some sort of violence for him to go to jail right then and there.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. We'll have
No,
to wait
you're
and
probably
see.
right.
We'll have to wait and see
Yeah.
what happens. So until next week, we'll have to wait and see. I don't have anything else about this, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye.